It just, well, we were at a pay-per-view that day when all of a sudden the news came out that Brian was dead. I mean, it was something that I really couldn't believe happened. And everybody always says, well, it didn't really sink in. It didn't until a few nights later we told the bell on Monday Night Raw, and it pretty much, shook me up. And Brian was someone I met down in WCW at a TV taping, and he came up to me and he was fixing to put me with Harley Race and give me a good shove as U.S. champion. And he says, Steve, we need to come up with a finishing move. We're a tag team now. And I said, what the hell are you talking about? And, it was just an interim tag team. We turned into the Hollywood Blondes, and me and Brian, in wrestling, I guess in a lot of entertainment type things, you really don't make any close friends because everybody's out there to stab you in the back. But Brian was one of the guys that he always called me at the house, and I always called him. We got to be the best friend I ever had in wrestling. And then when he died, is something that is too bad. Brian had a lot of throat problems. He had his ankle fused. His health, he was in bad shape health-wise. He had some personal problems at his house, I guess. And I guess everything caught up with him, and he had a heart condition on top of that. And that was the legal cause of his death, was a heart condition. He died in his hotel room, and it's just a real sad thing for someone of Brian's intelligence, one of the smartest guys I ever knew, for something like that to happen. And not a day goes by that I honestly don't think about Brian, and I miss him.
Bret Hart said on the show that he wasn't close friends with him, but he considered him a friend, and he said that he felt somewhat guilty because he said people knew that he was struggling with his life. Do you feel any guilt?
No, it's always that question of saying, you wonder if you would have took him aside and said, man, is there anything I can do, or what's going on? But the way I knew Brian, Brian, during the daytime, he was the proudest guy, and he was a strong, tough guy. He wasn't going to say that he had problems or this or that. He might whine or complain just in a sentence or two, but he didn't look for sympathy, and he didn't want it. He was a very headstrong person. He wanted to do his own thing, and he always did. He lived his life 100 miles an hour and had a great time. And just at the end, everything caught up with him, and it was a bad time. And like I said, I guess he had some problems at the house. And everything just caught up with Brian. But I don't feel guilty about it at all. Brian went away, and I don't think there's anything that was going to change that. I guess it was just time.
Do you think wrestling contributed much to his death?
Well, I think life contributed to his death. I think it was just, Brian was 34, 35 years old with the heart problem and all that, and all the pain he was in, from the car wreck and everything. It was just, it was just something that happened.
Brian Pillman, a good friend of Stone Cold Steve.